Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily Tesla report for Friday, April 25th, 2025. Before I jump into the charts, I just want to mention that this week we put out two stock picks, wickedstocks.com, like we do every week. This week was Robinhood Markets on Tuesday, and on Thursday we put out a stock pick on Broadcom. Both of them on the precipice of a meaningful buy signal. In fact, Robinhood is kind of in the midst of it already. So you want to check that out. We give you highly specific support levels, trade recommendations, targets over the 3 to 5 week and 3 to 5 month time frame. We're always looking for at least 20% moves, and sometimes we get a lot more than that on the stock picks. So check out wickedstocks.com. You'll see that all for free for 5 days. You'll also get daily Triple Q, daily SPY analysis, weekly Apple stock, etc. So check out wickedstocks.com. So 285.13, 288.93 is likely by the end of next week, still following the settlement a couple of days ago above the 244.37 descending channel top. This is a level that can contain today's lows and above which bullish momentum remains intact as we move into next week. The 285.13 to 288.93 region in reach. We also yesterday closed just above that descending trend line at 257.55. It remains a mere intraday pivot point. If we break or open below 257.55, that would allow 244.37 today. Holding above 257.55 will keep 274.69 in reach today. That is this significant pullback high that occurred a couple of weeks ago off the actual move low. 2 days later, that was the I think that was the tariff pause announcement. That high was 274.69. So holding above 257.55 today, we can test 274.69. That may be it for the day. Also know that if we close today above 274.69, Monday, Tuesday of next week, we reach our targeted 285.13 to 288.93 area, which is like a 3 to 5 day, 1 to 2 week time frame objective above 244.37. At 285.13 to 288.93, we're not going to see it today, but if by the end of next week we do, it can absorb buying through the month of May, and from there we can fall to new lows. We can fall to 162.42 within about 3 to 5 weeks as a guess, couple of months at the most. And so that is your sellable resistance. If there's an area to sell the market right now on a 3 to 5 week basis, 1 to 2 month basis, it really is the 285.13 to 288.93 area on strength, because I think the market is likely over time, over the next month or two or sooner, to fall into this significant zone of long-term support on the weekly chart, 5-year channel structure between 156.32 and 162.42 that can contain annual selling pressures. Let's take a look at the scenario that could unfold. I think merely closing today back below 244.37 is not a good indication for bullish continuation in next week. In fact, it is just the opposite. If we close today below 244.37, what I see is a test of the 221.86 low settlement price that was put out a few weeks ago. And so closing below 244.37, 221.86 likely within several days where we can place a daily low. It is very stair-step. The only level that I can see comfortably selling, if you will, on a multi-week basis at this time is the 285.13 to 288.93 area. And we are expecting that. I think we'll see that by the end of next week. But if we close below 244.37, I think you can forget about that. If you are long above 244.37, anticipating the mid to upper 280s, and we close below 244.37, my suggestion is to lighten up on that long position, if not get out altogether. I see 221.86 likely within several days. If we close below 221.86, that is the down pivot through the rest of April and into May activity. 192.14, I think a 1 to 2 week objective. With high volatility, it could be 3 to 5 days. But the scenario in which I expect 192.14 is a settlement below 221.86. You could make the case that if we close below 244.37, we'll see that 192.14 within a couple of weeks. But I think it is pretty stair-step right now. We're in this consolidative framework. There's nothing to suggest that if we close below 244.37, we're going to break out of that. Unless we close below 221.86, and then yes, we do. We continue south to new lows. We continue south to 192.14 within a week or two. This formation descending gradually and will by the middle or later part of May converge anyway with 162.42. So if over the next 3 to 5 days we fall apart and close below 221.86, I think you can play the 2 to 3 week sell signal there. That could be just reaching for 160 strike out of the money puts that don't expire for, at least 6 or 8 weeks under that assumed 2 to 3 week time horizon for reaching 162.42. Because if we close below 221.86, 2 to 3 week sell signal, and during that time, this channel bottom continues to drop into the 150s, 160s over that time frame. Last thing I want to say is really the upside, and we're not going to see it today, but if over the next week or two we settle above the 288.93 channel top, that indicates a good low into May, June. I really see this as a pretty aggressive. It could be within 3 to 5 weeks. It could take a better part of 2 months, but the 380.61 descending 2/3 speed line would then be expected, where we could top out on a monthly, possibly quarterly basis. So going long right now, Tesla, over the big picture, over the 3 to 5 week time frame, is either a settlement above 288.93, or on weakness, as you could bottom pick the 156.32 to 162.42 area. Anything inside of that, anything inside of 156.32 and 288.93 is just a series of 3 to 5 day, 1 to 2 week pivot points that I've already described in this video. I think that pretty much rounds it out. Please click like, share, subscribe, check out wickedstocks.com. Take advantage of our 5-day free trial. You'll see this week's Robinhood Markets and Broadcom stock picks. Last week, I've already forgotten, Motorola, and what else was it? I could go on and on. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. I will be back on Sunday afternoon with Monday's Tesla. You have a great weekend.